Ahoy!
Welcome to another episode of Bottom of the Stream, number 6. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
Quite excited to talk about this. It's going to be quite interesting and very different.
Yeah, this one's going to be
to previous.
Yeah, this is a completely different film. Thank you for downloading. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can at BOTS_podcast. Instagram is the same. We've just set up an Instagram account. Please join us on there. Facebook is facebook.com/bottomofthestream. Email address, if you want to email us for any reason, is bottomofthestream@gmail.com. And I think that is all the social medias.
The characters in this film would follow us on all the social medias.
Oh, they love the socials. Right, are we ready to talk about this film?
Let's go for it.
Let's go. So, what are we talking about this week, Nick?
So this week we are talking about Netflix original Sierra Burgess is a Loser.
Sierra Burgess is a Loser.
From 2018. So hot-ish off the press.
Teen rom-com.
Yeah.
How do you feel about teen rom-coms?
I don't mind a good one.
Do you have a favourite?
Well, you can't beat the classics. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that.
Bit of a...
What's that one with
90s? Clueless.
Clueless, yeah. That's
great film.
I've seen that. What's that one with the gardener from Desperate Housewives in? I got made to watch that once. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, it'll come back to me.
It will come halfway through this episode. We'll talk about it.
I'll just blurt out the name of it, and there's probably people listening going,
John, it's got something.
John Tucker Must Die.
John Tucker Must Die. We got it. Whee! So, as always now, you give me a one-word review of Sierra Burgess as a Loser.
Problematic.
I'm going with horrible. I thought the message of this film was horrible.
I think you have to dig quite deep to find some positives or a silver lining.
I don't even know where to start with this. Tell us about what is it? It's a film about catfishing.
Well, it's not about catfishing,
no,
but it turns. Well, yeah, it is catfishing.
It's a film about catfishing.
I'd be really interested to talk to like the director.
Yeah.
And I'd like to ask, did this go out of hand? Or is this what they intended to make?
Yeah, because it's horrible. There's a horrible message to it.
Because all the characters are not nice.
No. The characters are horrible. The message of the film is disgraceful. And it's just... I don't know.
So I think we're going to have to sort of...
We're going to have to explain our feelings towards it. So
just sort of go through...
Shall we break it down?
Yeah. So
who's in it first?
So the lead character is Sierra Burgess. And she is played by Shannon Purser.
Yes. Who is...
so you may know her from Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Netflix's most highest rated show.
Yeah. So season 1 of Stranger Things, she was Barb, who did not last long.
No,
but was very memorable.
An untimely end. Anybody else in there that we should know about? Don't think so.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Who?
So Shannon Purser's parents. So Sierra's parents. So,
yeah. Okay.
So there's a whole plot point here is that Sierra Burgess is a very at the start at least she's a well-adjusted, head screwed on.
Yeah. Lower level high school kid. I would describe her as.
Yeah. So she's very clever.
She's very clever. She's not
a popular kid.
She's also not bottom of the rung. She's
how do we say it? Oh, so what shall I just say? She's dumpy. She's
ginger.
Yeah, she's. I don't know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean. She's not.
Nicely.
She's not like nerd, but she's also not popular jock.
Yeah, she's body conscious. Has body issues.
Yeah, she has body issues. She does. That's fair to say.
And so the character's parents, she's living in the shadow of her dad, who's a famous author.
Yeah. I
just thought you're living in the shadow of both your parents because your dad's Ferris Bueller's best friend and your mum's Marty McFly's mum.
True.
So Alan Ruck and Leah Thompson play her parents.
Yes, they do.
I feel like I'm going a bit all over the place here. So I will get some positivity out of the way.
Okay.
I thought everyone, there was no bad acting in this.
No.
I thought everyone was good.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody was good. Everybody did what they were told.
I had no issue with the performances whatsoever.
No.
I thought Shannon Purser, I was really impressed with her acting.
Yeah.
The character was a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
But so I will say that positively. So
do you know what affects me the most about this film is that it's written by a woman.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I just don't get it. Anyway, let's get on. Let's talk about it.
So Sierra is she is not popular. She's picked on. She's got a stereotypical loyal friend.
Yeah.
Who remind me of being exactly the same character as the loyal friend out of Sex Education.
Yeah. Exactly what I thought.
It's like the template character. So he gets most of the laughs, doesn't he, in the movie? And she's picked on by the sort of group of mean girls.
Yeah, three bitchy girls.
Yeah, who again, at the start at least, are very stereotypical. You've seen these characters in
every
hundreds of
rom-com ever.
Teen movies.
There's always three of them. They're always girls and there's always a leader. It's always the same.
Yeah.
Bitchy girls always come in threes.
So the whole sort of plot point of this movie is the three mean girls. So the lead mean girl is called Veronica.
Yeah.
So Veronica and her two friends are having lunch in a diner, and a hot boy.
Hot boy. That's what I've written down. Hot boy turned up.
So that character's name is Jamie. He's the lead male in this film.
Yeah.
He comes over and he tries to get Veronica's number, and she gives him Sierra Burgess's number.
Yes.
And we're away to the races.
Yeah. So he's the high school quarterback.
Yes, but not at their high school.
No,
so it's a rival high school.
Yeah.
That
same
will
town.
become important later.
Yeah, same town, different high school. And Veronica's the head cheerleader of the opposite school.
Correct.
Yes. So it's complicated because there's two schools. I didn't pick that up straight away.
No, it wasn't immediately obvious.
No, it wasn't. But it's kind of important because of how this film progresses that
yes,
they don't cross paths every day.
Yes. So Jamie starts to, I think it's probably, is it even later that day? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think it is.
So he texts the number who he believes is Veronica. Turns out it's Sierra.
Yeah.
And they text each other.
Yeah, she responds as if she is Veronica.
Back and forth.
Oh, she doesn't
know.
She doesn't know at this point who he's thinking she is.
And
she just knows.
at some point in that text conversation, I think he does.
Yeah, it becomes clear that
it quickly becomes clear that he's texting this Veronica, but Sierra carries on.
So yeah, she keeps going. They end up texting all night that first night.
So a lot of this film is watching people text.
Yeah.
And it drove me bananas.
Yes. Glad it wasn't just me.
I think it's going to sound so old. I really struggled to read what the hell was going on.
I even thought about moving upstairs to the bigger screen because I couldn't read.
Put it on the projector.
Yeah, put it on the projector because I couldn't read the text. And it doesn't... In a lot of films, it brings the text up on the screen as if it's a subtitle.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It expects you to read their phone.
You're literally reading it over their shoulder.
Yeah.
On their iPhone.
On their iPhone. It's tiny.
It was horrible.
We do sound like a pair of old mates.
It was really difficult.
It was. I'd give up in there, so I don't even care what these texts say. They couldn't have been important.
They're building their relationship. I've got written down in capital letters with an exclamation mark, why am I watching people texting?
Yeah.
And then I cannot read these messages.
Yeah. So she figures out quite quickly that he doesn't know who she is, who he's texting.
Yeah.
He thinks he's texting. She figures that out, but she still goes with it. She even goes to the extent of taking her name off her own voicemail in case he calls.
Yeah.
So that, for me, is the decision where she thinks, I'm going to go with this and see where it goes. I mean...
Yeah, but I can kind of... I'm on board with this so far.
Really?
Because, that's not... Compared to what happens...
Oh, yeah, compared to what happens, but it's still an odd thing to do.
It's a bit of a... Yeah, but she's not a confident person. He sends a picture, doesn't he? So she's like, why is this guy texting me? And, okay, I can go with that. I'm kind of with it so far.
Yeah.
The next thing that happens is that Veronica gets dumped by her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she sort of walks out of the middle of class and Sierra goes after her.
Yeah.
And she immediately, sort of while Veronica's very upset, Sierra says, I can help you impress your boyfriend
because he's quite smart.
Yeah.
And she wants to appear smarter to him.
Yes.
He's a college boy.
Yeah, so I'll sort of tutor you, but I need something back from you.
Yeah.
And she doesn't immediately say what, but I think it's, we quickly realise.
Yeah, it comes out later that night, I think.
Yeah. That she wants Veronica to help her perpetrate this ruse.
What made me laugh at this point, he sends a shirtless selfie, which he was quite body conscious about doing, and then she sent him back a picture of an elephant. Which, That confused me a little bit.
Well, she was trying to be funny, wasn't she?
I don't know what the kids do these days, but yeah, she was trying to be funny. But
you literally sound like you're about to punch any football that comes over into your back garden.
I thought about it a couple of times. I'm okay with the fact that I'm getting old.
So
this film isn't aimed at us too. Definitely. But
no, that's quite apparent. But that's the beauty of the stream, because who knows what you're going to fish out.
That isn't the reason why I hated it. I was prepared to enjoy a teen rom-com.
So Veronica and Sierra have their first sort of tutoring type session, and Sierra gets Veronica to send Jamie a selfie of her because she's like, I can't hold off this. I need to give him something,
or he's going to lose interest.
So at this point, they are now officially catfishing him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, because now they're both complicit in it.
And he's done nothing wrong. Also, bear this in mind, all the way through this, Jamie, as far as he's concerned, he is texting, he is talking to Veronica.
The whole time.
All the way through the film. He doesn't do anything inappropriate. He's just an innocent party in this.
Completely. Completely innocent party.
That is a bit problematic for me. Yes.
Agreed. Again, it's gender roles, and if you reverse those gender roles, this film doesn't get made. This film doesn't get made if it's two men catfishing a girl. Yeah. I can't believe it's been made anyway, but I don't know. It doesn't get made the other way around. So anyway, Sierra sends the photos. He decides he wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
So they talk for an entire evening.
So I thought that bit was quite sweet, actually. Because,
it was.
Like I say, everyone in this is good, and the chemistry and the charisma between Sierra and Jamie, I thought really came across. Yeah. Even though
he didn't know what was going on.
They're not in the same room.
Yeah.
It's a believable developing relationship, putting aside the horrific way that they're manipulating him. So when they're having that, I don't want to say it's a montage, but that kind of sequence where they are going back and forth on the phone, I thought was quite sweet. That was quite sweet.
Yeah. He notices that she sounds different because obviously he's met Veronica in the past because she gave him the number.
Yeah.
She claims to have a cold or something.
Yeah. So and doesn't he say at one point you've got a fat voice?
Yeah, he does.
I wasn't very comfortable. There was a lot of I was uneasy about that as well.
Yeah, he does say that. So it's during this conversation that they agree to meet as well. That doesn't happen straight away, but at some point they decide they're going to meet up.
Well, he wants to Skype first.
Yeah.
Or does she downgrade him from a meet to a Skype?
I think she downgrades him at that point.
She convinces him to...
Yeah. But then the film takes a really weird turn when she decides she's going to try out for the boys' track team.
So that's a bit of a side point. So while the whole relationship stuff is going on, you have a couple of sequences scenes where she's with the careers counsellor type lady. And she's sort of like, what do you want to do with your future? And Sierra said, I want to go to college. I want to go to a good college. And the counsellor's sort of like, well, you need to broaden your CV a bit, basically. A bit more experience.
Yeah.
So that comes on to a couple of things. So the first thing they do, and she drags Dan, her best friend, along, is they try out for the track team.
Doesn't go well.
Yeah, they sort of do the hurdles, don't they? fall over a bit and then vomit at the end.
They both throw up at
Which
the end.
Again, it was
a funny moment. Yeah.
And they do some community service a bit later on, don't they?
Yeah.
But I think we'll come on to that in a minute, because first they do the Skype call.
The Skype call comes next.
So Veronica and Sierra are together.
Yeah.
And they do a convoluted bit where Veronica's obviously in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Sierra's the other side of the laptop. Yeah. She's doing the talking. And Veronica's trying to lip sync
without knowing what she's going to say.
Yeah,
but they blame it on the
poor Wi-Fi,
poor internet, putting the voices out of sync. That's where I started to feel really uncomfortable because that is so wrong, so wrong. Everything about that was horrible. And then after the call's finished, they celebrate as if they've won the lottery, jumping around the room and hugging and.
We've still got him hooked on for another few days.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
But, and I'm going so it's just on the other side. Meanwhile, through this, while they're doing all these tutoring sessions, they're at Veronica's house, and her character. So we started off, as I said, she's this mean girl, stereotypical. You've seen it all the time.
Yeah.
The character starts to unwrap a bit. So she lives at home with her mum.
Yeah.
Their dad walked out on them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're twins.
Yeah, I think they were twins.
She's got two sisters.
Two sisters. Yeah.
So her mum's like pushing these two sisters through. Like she's
a dance mum.
She's a larger lady, and they're going to doing dancing and beauty pageants and all that. And every time her mum's in it, she says to Veronica, you don't eat. She only eats rice cakes. You don't eat. Don't eat any junk. You don't want to end up like me. Blah blah blah. And
you can see.
I quite liked the characterisation. I found that character quite.
Yeah, I agree. You can see
there was levels to
this. The bitch at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she's treated badly at home.
These weren't one-dimensional characters.
No.
But as we keep saying, just their actions were pretty reprehensible.
Yeah. Bear in mind that these are the main characters in this film. They're the people we're supposed to sympathise with and fall for. I hated everything about them.
So the next sort of important scene is when Sierra and Dan, her friend, again in an effort to widen their horizons and broaden their CV, they're out doing community service.
Yeah.
So are they litter picking?
They're litter picking
in a park.
In the local park, yeah.
And they just so happen to bump into Jamie.
Dan notices him first.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's seen the photo because he's involved in this as well.
So he's stirring the pot. So
Dan also knows everything about what's going on. It's not like he's like an innocent party in this either.
So he's just stirring the pot. Come over here. We're going to go and see. Dan starts getting into a conversation with Jamie. And
Jamie's deaf brother.
Yeah. So Sierra doesn't want to talk to him because he'll recognise her voice and the jig will be up. So she pretends
that she's deaf.
So she's... So Dan introduces them and she signs her name.
Yeah.
And to her surprise, Jamie signs back.
Yes.
Because, as it turns out, not only is he innocent, he is a loving big brother.
Really nice guy.
With looking after his also deaf little brother. So he signs a load of stuff back and she just has to be mute.
Yeah, she then gives up on signing altogether and just stands there like a moron.
This wasn't very good.
Oh my god, man. So they at the end of this, they shake hands.
They do.
Then they have a little moment.
Yeah. There's a
lingering between them.
Glance, isn't there, between them? And Sierra goes back. She talks to Veronica, and she resolves to come clean.
Yes.
So Veronica, in inverted commas, and Jamie have arranged to go on a date.
Yep, at the cinema.
And Sierra's like, we're gonna come clean.
Yeah, we'll tell him there.
Yeah.
And then bottles it.
Sierra bottles it.
She takes Veronica to the bathroom and decides that this isn't the right time to do it. So they go to Veronica and Jamie go to the cinema where Jamie's two friends are there as well.
Yeah.
And so are Veronica's two friends.
Yeah.
But they're all sitting in a line.
Yeah. I love Jamie's friends. I thought they were great. They were total nerds.
Total nerds with hanging around with a high school quarterback.
I like the guy with the curly hair.
Yeah.
Who was clearly at least 35 years old.
At the very least.
That did make me chuckle.
Yeah.
So they kind of go their separate ways and then it's just left with Jamie and Veronica in the car park.
Yes.
Talking.
Oh, yes.
And Sierra's followed them.
Yeah.
She's crawled underneath Jamie's car.
She's behind it to start with, and then he starts to come around and she quickly gets underneath the car. She's underneath the car.
And she's texting Veronica,
who's in front of the car with Jamie,
what she needs to say.
Yes.
To keep the conversation going, to act as the Sierra version of Veronica.
Yeah.
This is more complicated to explain than I thought it was going to be.
Jamie and Veronica nearly have a moment at this point and almost kiss.
Yeah.
And then Sierra grabs Veronica's leg.
Yeah, she gives her a chop block, doesn't she?
Chop blocks her to the back of the leg. Then he takes her out.
And then this gets even more problematic.
Then this is the worst scene in the whole film.
They make Jamie put his hand over or close his eyes.
Yeah.
Sierra comes out.
Yeah.
From under the car and steps into Veronica's place, and she kisses Jamie.
She kiss rapes him.
Yeah.
There's no other way of describing it. That's non-consensual kissing. Is incredibly problematic. He nearly opens his eyes at one point and she nearly punches him in the face as she tries to cover his eyes up for him. Yeah. At this point, I'm thinking, she might end up sad and alone at the end and we'll be all right.
Let me suggest this.
Go on.
If this film was... You wouldn't have to change really anything about it.
No.
But, so all the way through, this has this sort of sweet, sugary, folk type soundtrack. And we'll talk later about, like, there's a song at the end, which is, it's actually quite a good song. And this is all played innocently.
Yeah. As if it's fine.
And it's really jarring.
Yeah, completely. It made me feel so uncomfortable. And films don't get me like that usually.
If this film... So replace all that sugary, sweet score with something a bit more ominous.
Yeah.
Have you just got, like, a psychological thriller?
Yeah.
Like
honestly, genuinely.
Like a Fatal Attraction kind of bunny boiler.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to change hardly anything.
That was really bizarre for me.
Change the colour scheme and change the soundtrack, like you say. You've got a thriller.
I don't even think you'd have to change the performances, really.
That's
how jarring this was.
How wrong this film is. It is. So we've not come to the ending yet, but when we do, we can discuss it more. But
tonally, this was just what I was seeing didn't piece together.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, back to the story. Veronica invites Sierra to the party, high school party at this point.
So they're genuinely getting on at this point.
Yeah, they're friends now.
They've
bonded over their catfishing.
And that relationship works well as well. Because both the actresses do a good job.
Yeah.
I can't stress this again. It's just the way these characters are written, they are just horrible. The actions they take are just horrible.
Yeah.
And they're not realistic.
No, they're not.
But, yeah, it's just, it really boggled my mind.
Yeah. I'm glad you feel the same, because I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a long time. So anyway, they're at the party, and they're together. And then Veronica's other two friends.
Sierra does a kegget.
She does. She gets held upside down as she chugs a keg. So Veronica's... I don't know if we ever find out Veronica's friends' names. I've written them down as Bitch 2 and Bitch 3.
Okay, fine.
They turn up and question why she's with Sierra.
Yeah, they're not veering from this bitch path. And one of them even says to her, you hang around with a loser, you are a loser.
It's true.
No hope for us.
I've been hanging around with losers my entire life.
So Veronica sees her ex there.
Yeah, because they've split up at this point, haven't they?
Yeah. So the same guy from the start of the film. They split up.
Yeah, he was about 35 as well.
Yeah, he did. He did. But like you say, he is supposed to be a college boy, but not a
tutor.
Yeah. So they hook up.
Yeah.
And he takes a selfie
of them kissing.
And I noted, how we talked about in like Bait, and I think we know now, when you see a gun in that one, and it's going to come later.
Yeah.
That selfie was this film's gun.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to blow it all apart.
And Sierra, obviously, she gets hammered, so she goes home, she drunk dials Jamie, and she can't remember what she's told him.
Yeah, she doesn't know if she's told him or not.
Yeah.
She nearly did.
Yeah.
But she fell asleep.
But she passed out.
Yeah, she passed out. So, but she doesn't know at this point now if he knows or not. It's all getting a bit crazy. She gets grounded for going to this party.
Yeah, because she's acting so out of character.
Yeah, which makes no sense, because there's no point that she ever in the house for the rest of the film.
No, and she didn't. It was quite a happy drunk.
She just
went to sleep. There was no shenanigans here.
Yeah.
So I thought a little bit harsh by Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, he kind of overreacted. It was out of character for him a little bit as well, because he'd been quite chilled all the way through. And then he completely overreacted to that. The next morning, Veronica gets a text from Spence dumping her.
Yes.
And that was a mistake last night. Let's forget it over and happened. And this is all leading up to a big high school football game.
Yes.
So between the two colleges,
So Jamie's the quarterback at the rival school.
Veronica's the head cheerleader.
And Sierra is on the marching band.
Marching band, yes. So they're all going to be there at the same place, which is going to be problematic.
Yeah. So the crucial part here, Sierra is in one of the rooms at the school. Is she preparing? Is she picking up her instrument?
Something like that. She's getting ready.
So she happens to look out of the door just as Jamie, who has just got off so his team has just arrived from the. They've just got off the bus.
Yeah.
He bumps into Veronica,
who he thinks he's in a relationship with.
He has been on a date with.
Yeah.
He thinks he's kissed her.
Yeah.
They have a little kiss.
Yeah.
She kind of pulls away, but Sierra doesn't see that part.
No,
she
Sierra
just sees them
just
having a bit of a kiss.
Just saws the kiss. Sees the kiss.
And that makes her go mad.
She goes batshit crazy. This is becoming my catchphrase on this podcast. But yeah, she does. She loses her mind. She hacks into Veronica's Instagram account.
Yeah.
At this point, and she posts the picture, the gun picture, the picture of them kissing.
Of Spencer and
Veronica kissing. She posts that onto Veronica's Instagram account.
Yeah. And she circles it and writes
text.
Dumped via text.
Yes. So everybody's phone in the whole stadium starts buzzing at this point.
Yeah.
Because when somebody posts on Instagram, everybody finds out about it instantly. And so it gets everywhere. Everybody sort of knows that
this is literally mid-play in the American football
during
game.
the game.
Yeah.
Veronica's currently cheerleading, so couldn't possibly have put this picture up on her account.
Jamie is on the field.
Yeah, and Sierra's in the bandstand. Yes. Or the stand with the band.
And some absolute legend.
Yeah. The hero of this film.
Who has not been he's in this film for all of
2
a
seconds,
minute.
Yeah.
Some absolute legend. He sees the picture on Instagram, legs it down to the front of the stand, tells the teacher who's operating the scoreboard, Mr. Blogs or whatever your name is, there's a bin on fire over there or something. So he legs it off. He sits in this teacher's seat, plugs his phone in, bangs the selfie on the scoreboard.
Ends up on the scoreboard at the game.
Jamie is at this point, he's literally winding back to throw the pass. Sees
the picture.
Who he thinks is his girlfriend.
Yeah.
On the scoreboard, kissing someone else.
Yeah.
Saying she's just been dumped.
Yeah.
Takes his eye off the ball. Gets sacked. Gets a huge
big old
hit.
Sack. Gets a big old sack.
He's down.
He's down and hurt at this point.
Sierra's suddenly realising, I've gone too far here.
I've messed up.
Her actions here are so bad.
Yeah.
She has caused this guy to be concussed.
Yeah.
She storms down out the stand. Veronica storms out onto the pitch.
Yeah. In front of the whole school.
So,
both schools.
Put yourself in Jamie's shoes. So he's now lying on the grass, prone.
Possibly concussed.
Pretty sure he's concussed.
Yeah.
He's got his
I think he's still might be concussed as we come towards the end of the film as well. But yeah.
And who he thinks is his girlfriend's there. And who he thinks is this deaf mute girl. Both trying to explain to him what's going on. And this poor guy.
Yeah. He completely has no clue what's going on. He just tells them both to leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, both of you leave me alone.
And then it calms down a bit.
Yeah. Also, Dan turns his back on Sierra at this point as well, because he figures out...
Well, he calls her out, doesn't he? He says, it must have been you that's done this.
You've gone too far here.
Yeah.
I'm done with you as well. So she's pretty much lost everything at this point. So...
I've written down this totally sick burn.
Go on.
So I'm getting the lingo here.
Sick burn.
So after Jamie's gone off, so Veronica turns to Sierra and she says, do you know what? Your looks aren't even the ugliest thing about you.
Sick burn. That is a sick burn. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it at work. So Sierra's obviously visibly upset by this. She goes home and has a go at her parents.
Yeah, everyone goes their separate ways.
Yeah,
for a bit.
So she's really nasty to her mum and dad when she gets home, but then she decides she's going to write a song. Yeah,
so there's another subplot through this that you keep threading back throughout this film to this English class, don't you?
Yeah.
And one by one, everyone in the class has to go up and recite a poem that they've written themselves.
Yeah.
And Sierra, even because of all this other stuff that's going on, she's previously been like a model student. She forgets, she doesn't do it. And she ends up writing this song at this point in the film.
Yeah.
And then it ends up playing, doesn't it? Over a montage of everyone being sad.
Yeah. This is a scene of her deleting Jamie's number as if she's given up on it.
Yeah.
So she's down and out. She's done. Everybody's single. Everybody's alone. Everybody's sad. Until prom night, which I presume comes quite soon after this.
Yeah. So I don't know how many days.
Not many, I don't think. I feel like it's a couple of days after the football game, maybe.
Yeah. So Sierra sent this song to Veronica because it's how she is trying to apologise to her.
It didn't work for her English class because it was a song, not a poem. The teacher wasn't impressed.
Well, she thought it was a good song.
But not the poem that I've asked for.
Yeah, you've not made the brief. And she texts Jamie. She says, "I'm so sorry for what I've done."
Yeah.
And you're right. She deletes him out of his phone, out of her phone. Meanwhile, you get a bit where Veronica stands up to her mum.
Yeah.
And I
really
I like that. The character of Veronica it really developed through the film. And that was probably my best thing about this film was away from the horrible things they did. It was the actual character moment.
Yeah.
So when she was at home interacting with, you see how difficult she had it there. They were the positive bits for me. And she stood up to her mum and she said, you've got to forget that loser of a dad left you 10 years ago. You can sort yourself out. You've got a life to live. We need our mum back, and a bit of a rah-rah speech, and that was good. So yeah.
So you see Jamie turn up at a door and knock on that door. You don't know which door he's knocking on.
Yeah. And then
horribly.
No, it cuts and Veronica answers the door.
Yeah, Veronica answers a door.
And then so we've got homecoming coming up, or prom.
Yeah, prom.
Sierra's sitting having dinner with her mum and dad. She's in her prom dress. She's just going to go on her own.
She's going to go on her own, yeah.
And then she gets a text from an unknown number.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it says, "Hi." So she texts back, "Who is this?" Which is exactly the first two messages they had way back. And the text tells her to go to her window. And it's Jamie.
Jamie has turned up to take her to prom.
Yeah. To take Sierra to prom.
Yes.
And they have a chat.
Yeah.
And he says, "Veronica played me your song.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
You are my type."
You are my type. Yeah. Intellectually, and I think you're beautiful. And they have a kiss.
They have a kiss, and he says, "Have we done that before?"
Yeah.
Oh my God. They go to the prom. Everybody's really happy for her that she's turned up with this quarterback. Dan's happy for her. Veronica's happy for her. They all have a big group hug, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the film.
Yeah.
So... Oh, and then, as if it's a true story, it tells you what happened to them all afterwards.
I liked that. They were one of the funniest bits for me. The little comments they had about what the characters did after. So again, the bit in isolation, when Sierra and Jamie are having that conversation, you have to put aside the vile things that they did to him.
Can't put them aside.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's a nice moment, and like I say, the chemistry between them is good.
Yeah, it is.
But at the root of this, the whole premise is just
disgusting.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. The message of this film is that catfishing works.
Yeah.
That's the message that this film gives you. Feel free to catfish people because eventually it's going to fall for you anyway.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible. It's wrong. It's so wrong.
There's not much feel good about this.
No. I can't believe it's even out there as a thing.
This
film's aimed at teenagers.
It's just massively misjudged the mood
unbelievable.
I don't want to get too deep, but it's just in today's sort of society and Me Too movement, it's felt really misjudged.
Completely. Like you say, you change a few things and it's a thriller film. But even then, at the end, I think you don't get them together.
It's trying to. I understand, and this is what I said earlier when I'd like to ask the director if this went a bit off the rails, because maybe it started as we want to give a positive message about people who are not self-conscious and not confident. There's a feel good story to tell here that beauty on the inside.
If
and
you've
all
got the
that
personality,
sort of stuff.
You can get the hot job guy at the end.
Yeah, well, regardless, if you can find whoever it is, and that is totally lost, and it's just overlapped by their vile actions to this poor guy.
Yeah, I don't understand his thinking at the end of going, "Oh, this girl who's been catfishing me for weeks, who kiss raped me, I want to go to prom with this girl." Oh my God, it's horrible. It's horrible. Do not watch this film, and definitely do not let your teenage kids watch it, because it has a horrible message. It's horrible. We were saying after we finished recording last week that the good films are harder to record and we have so far the good films have been shorter podcasts and the bad films have become the longer podcasts. This is going to be a really long podcast because last week we started the stream table and we said bottom of the stream table Open House is always going to be at the bottom of this table. There's never going to be a worse film than this. I'm putting this film down there.
Oh yeah,
honestly, I think
we have to have a bit of a disagreement here.
I think this film's worse than The Open House, just purely because of its message, and the fact that it shouldn't be shown to anybody of any sort of body conscious people or anybody. It shouldn't be shown to anybody. Nobody should be able to. Nobody should be allowed to watch this film.
Okay, so I think there's two ways of looking at it. Yeah, morally, this film is really objectionable.
Yeah,
and it's if you want to look at it like that, then yeah, it's at the bottom. No questions asked. But
it's not.
If you want,
I know what you're going to say.
Do you want to go technically because it's better made than
it's a better made film. It's a better,
much better actors in than
agreed.
A lot of the films we've watched.
You will not get any
far.
argument with me there. But if I was going to say to somebody, "You've got two films. Which one do you want to watch?" I still would take this one away from them. The Open House is.
I'd hate to think my daughters are far too young for this anyway. But if I couldn't, I'd hate to see them watching this. The message is terrible.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's not good.
It's worse than The Open House. I'm sorry, but it is.
I think I don't know if I can disagree with that. Or going if we because of how just like I say it's obnoxiously this is
disgusting, horrible message to this film. Definitely don't. No teenager should be able to watch it. It should be no. I hated it. I hate everything about it. That's it. I'm done.
Welcome to the bottom of the stream, then. In that case,
this film is at the bottom of the stream. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's really watching it. Don't watch it. It's at the bottom of the stream for a reason, and it needs to languish there forever.
I mean, it does make me question how it attracted.
Yeah, how does that sort of script attract?
Some sort of quite high, like I say, Alan Ruck and Leah Thompson are pretty big names.
Yeah.
Shannon Purser, really good. So she's in, as well as Strange Things, she's in Riverdale.
Oh right,
I think Netflix show it over here. I think it's on network TV in the States. But so she's obviously. She's talented. She does a good job in this, and she's probably going to go on to have a really good career. But this is, I hope she leaves the character of Sierra Burgess well behind.
I've got to say it again. This film is written by a woman. That's my final word on it.
For this to see the light of day in 2019 is
it's
really strange.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about how much I hate this film.
I mean. If you think how many meetings and approvals this must have gone through.
How has nobody spotted it?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
This was, like I said, this was a really interesting film to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was.
There was so much more to this than I could have possibly anticipated.
Yeah, I was expecting a nice, simple teen rom-com.
Randomly selected a teen rom-com.
I didn't expect to end up with as much passionate hate for it that I've got.
Would you recommend this to
anyone? You don't even have to finish that sentence.
Are you glad you watched it? Obviously, you would never have gone anywhere near this.
No, I wouldn't.
Were it not for this podcast.
I wouldn't have gone anywhere near it. That's a difficult question because
I'm glad I watched it because it's given. I'm
my eyes.
I'm gobsmacked that it's out there.
Yeah, it's opened my eyes to the fact that this sort of thing is out there. But I guess I am glad I've watched it because now I can warn other people not to. Don't waste your time on it. I've got this medium now of this podcast where I can tell people. I hope you've not already watched it. This one, please come back to it. If you have watched it, please come back to us and let us know what you think on it.
Yeah, so because I'd really interested to hear back. Like, if you have watched it, do you feel the same?
Yeah, do you agree with us?
Are we going way over the top here? I don't
think we are. But if you feel like we are, let us know.
I don't see how you can defend the actions of Veronica and Sierra.
I agree.
And it's not played for laughs. So
no, it's not.
It's not even like you can say, well, it's just a rom-com.
Yeah.
Because you can tell the film wants to be more than that. It wants to get across its message.
Yeah.
And just the way it goes about that is just, like I say, it's mind-boggling.
It's trying to... Have you seen Love, Simon?
No.
It's trying to be that, almost.
Yeah.
But that is this film with the nice message that these two guys are texting each other even though they don't know who they are. Whereas this is the opposite of that. And I think that's where they've gone wrong with it. This poor lad. But even I've got no sympathy for him because he went through the end anyway.
But how else would they have ended the film though? If you've almost written yourself into a corner there, haven't you?
I don't know. Make her sad and alone for the rest of her life where she deserved to be.
That's dark.
Anyway, let's leave Sierra Burgess there, wallowing at the bottom where she belongs. Shall we pick next week's film?
Let's do it. Let's see
I'm excited.
See what voyage is ahead for us next week.
Have you added anything to the list?
I don't believe so.
No, nor me. There's still 30 on there. We've got plenty before we need to start thinking about more.
Always happy to take suggestions.
Yeah, definitely. I give all the socials at the beginning of the podcast. Go back to the beginning and listen to it again if you want. I'm going to press the button. Are you ready for me to press the button?
Do it.
This has picked Don't Kill It.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to be a teen rom-com. This is a 2016 film described by IMDb as an action comedy fantasy. It's an 18, which I don't think we've seen an 18.
Have we not?
I don't think so. The synopsis is very short. It says an ancient demon terrorizes a tiny Mississippi town. And it stars Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, brilliant. Let's go full on 80s retro action.
Yeah. That's
The man himself.
Be a fun one. Yeah. That's going to be fun. That sounds fun.
Ivan Drago versus demons.
So, yeah, go and watch that. Don't kill it. And we'll be back next week to discuss it and talk about it and hopefully not hate it as much as we hated this week. Bye.
Cheers.